a doleful noise, all the worse for being heard in the pit of night. Moments later it was joined by shouts from below.
"The castle is breached," a voice yelled. "They've got over the curtain wall. They're into the bailey. Wake, wake in God's name!"
The voice belonged to Payne Gamage, one of Roger's household knights. Roger had never heard him sound so terrified. A scarred veteran of the marches of Wales and Ireland, Payne did not scare easily. Roger forgot the cold and hurried down the narrow spiral stair as fast as he dared. It was all too easy to slip and tumble on the bare stone. The bottom of the stairwell opened onto a wide corridor. To the left, it ended at the doorway on the first floor of the keep. There was a cluster of armed men before the entrance. Some of them held aloft torches, while others hurriedly strapped on helms and sword belts. Payne stood in the open doorway, his tall figure silhouetted against the night sky. He was bare-headed, his eyes wide and staring, face pale as death by torchlight.
"Arm!"
he shouted, almost drowned out by the clanging of the alarm bell.
"Arm, quickly, or else the castle is lost!"
Roger strode down the corridor.
"Stand back!" he shouted. "Pipe down, all of you! Let me through!"
His men started at the sound of their lord's voice. They parted ranks, some flattening themselves against the wall. Payne stood his ground.
"My lord," he said, lowering his voice a little, "the Welsh have overrun the outer bailey. See, my lord, see for yourself."
The tall knight stepped aside and pointed a shaking finger towards the inner curtain wall. Roger hobbled to the entrance and peered outside. There was no moon tonight, and the sky was black as pitch. Fortunately, Roger always ordered braziers to be lit on the ramparts. It paid to be wary of sudden ambush in the turbulent marches of Wales. The braziers illuminated a scene of slaughter. Below, at the foot of the steep flanks of the motte, hundreds of figures struggled in the gloom. Torchlight flickered off swords, spears, and axes. Men tore and hacked at each other, filled the night air with their screams. Roger was immediately filled with shame. Even in the darkness he could see the battle was already lost. His men were hopelessly outnumbered, 3 or even 4 to 1. Most of them were dead already. Their horribly maimed and mutilated bodies stretched out on the trampled grass. Those still on their feet were surrounded by howling Welsh spear and knife men, barefoot warriors in linen tunics and their distinctive red robes. Drums beat in the distance, accompanied by the dreary howl of Welsh horns. The clanging of the alarm bell had abruptly ceased. The sentry lay face down on the parapet, an arrow sticking from his eye. Fulk Tregos, another of Roger's knights, stood in the middle of the throng. 2 Welshmen lay dead at his feet. 3 more attacked him from all sides. Roger could only watch in despair as Fulk fell to his knees with a spear in his back, his mouth shaped around a war cry.
"Deus volt!"
An axe flashed down and split his coif. He keeled over, blood and brains spurting from the gash.
"My lord, let us withdraw into the keep,"
Payne's voice shouted in Roger's ear.
"They cannot batter down these walls, and we have enough biscuit and salt meat to last a month." "Or until they smoke us out," Roger murmured. "Take it by storm and butcher everyone inside."
If he was a younger man, Roger might have taken Payne's advice, locked and barred the door, blocked it up with masonry, dared the enemy to do their worst. With luck, a relief force might come before the Welsh could get inside. But he was old, and he had seen too much bloodshed. The sight of his faithful men slaughtered like oxen, especially Fulk, his favourite and a distant cousin, broke something inside him.
"I shall surrender," he declared, "and put a stop to this."
"But, my lord—" Roger ignored Payne and advanced down the timber steps cut into the side of the motte. He straightened up from his habitual stoop, squared his shoulders, and advanced